Hello everyone, I'm Rishabh and I'm teaching you Python as you already know from the last video. This is lecture 2 and today we'll be discussing Python decisions. Now what are Python decisions? Decisions are the ability to choose a path depending on given constraints to come to a conclusion. Before we move any further, let's discuss what's on the agenda for today's video. So we'll be discussing Boolean values, which I mentioned in the last video. We'll also be learning about comparison tools and logical connections and the if statement. So what are Boolean values? As we've already discussed, Boolean values are true or false. And as we know, true means something being correct and false means something being incorrect. In simple, we can learn this with an example. Say that if I assign a variable x, which is equal to 10, and then if I check if x is equal to 10, this is the comparison operator right here. Let me just highlight that in a different color so that you understand it better. This is the comparison operator. It's a double equal to sign. I'll explain that a bit further on in the video. But for now, let's understand if I compare this, then this should give me a true value. If I write this statement right here, then I will get the result as true. But now if I change this, x double equal to 5, then I'll get the result false. Now, how did the computer decide that whether the comparison that I made is correct or not? Well, for that, it has a toolkit, which we name the comparison toolkit. The comparison toolkit includes a few major operators, which are the greater than operator, the less than operator, the greater than equal to, the less than equal to, the double equal to, and the not equal to. We already discussed in the last video what all these operators mean and how they perform. They basically tell the computer what kind of comparison we want to perform. The computer then checks that comparison and then spits out a result, either true or false. Say that if I write a statement, x is equal to 18. Now I've assigned the value 18 to x. And if I write x is greater than equal to 10. Now, what do you think will be the output to this statement? I'll give you some time to think. As you've already figured it out, this will be true because 18 is obviously greater than equal to 10. But now if I write x less than equal to 18, 10, 10. If I write x less than equal to 10, this would give the output false. Now, moving on to the next topic, equal and assignment. Now these two symbols right here might look quite similar and you may even confuse yourself and use one instead of the other, but they perform quite different tasks. The first one, which is a single equal to, assigns a value to a variable. Here we have x equal to 5. This basically tells the computer that we have a variable named x and we will assign the value 5 to it. But the double equal to is a comparison operator. If we want to check if two values are equal, we use the double equal to. Is x equal to 5 is the question that's being asked to the computer when we use this operator. Moving on, we have the AND operator. The AND operator is used to check two conditions simultaneously. Both of them need to be true at the same time, and only then is the entire condition true. Here we have two conditions, is sunny and has time. Now what these mean can vary. It doesn't matter for this video. But if these two are true simultaneously, only then will the final equation be true. If even one of these is false, then our final result will also be false. Think of it like this. You have 1 and 1. When you multiply them, what do you get? 1. But if even one of those ones is changed to 0, you get 0 times 1, and that's 0. That's a simple way to think about it. The AND operator works like a multiply symbol. On the contrary, the OR operator only needs one condition to be true, at least one that is. Even if one of the conditions is true, then the entire result is true. If both of them are true, then that's also great. That means that the entire result will also be true. But If both of them are false, only then it will be false. Also, it's a good time to note that values like 0, null, undefined are treated as false. This might not make sense right now, but just hold on to this information because as we progress through this series, you'll understand what this means. Another thing to note is that any values apart from these three, majorly, are considered true. When we convert values from different data types to Boolean, then we get true values for every value that is not one of these three. Moving on, we have not. The logical not operator is used to change the value of a Boolean to the opposite Boolean. Say we have a condition that is raining, which we have defined to be false. If we use the not operator, then our result will be true. That's pretty simple, so let's move on to the next topic. The indentation rule. Now, this is where Python gets interesting. Unlike most programming languages that use semicolons and curly brackets to denote their syntax, Python uses indentation. Say that I have a if statement right here. If condition, then we have to add a colon to denote that we are starting the body of this if. Indent this, which means give space here. This all is indentation. All this indented part will be considered as the body of the function or that condition. Any code that is indented is housed within this if block, means that this if block holds that code. Anything within that is basically defining what to do in that situation. As soon as the indentation ends, that's the body of the if block closed. So this next statement has nothing to do with the if block. Now let's discuss the if. We already mentioned it before. So what does the if do? If evaluates one condition. If is basically the simplest form to evaluate conditions. Say, I assign a variable, temperature, and I give it the value 70 degrees. Now say if we want to check if the temperature is enough to boil water. So we can just add an if block that says if temp greater than 100, colon, then boiling. Now I've not written the print statement yet, but just to understand, take this in. The if statement evaluates if the given temperature is greater than 100. So basically, if is used to evaluate a condition. And then based on that condition, you can assign what output to give. The if can be paired with an else block. Else, not boiling. What the else block does is when the code runs, it checks first for the if block. If the condition is satisfied within the if block, it does as the if block says. So in this case, if the temperature is greater than 100, it will say boiling. But in our case, temperature is not greater than 100. So it will go on to the else block and say not boiling. It's important to note that code runs in chronological order. So basically, whatever you write first gets executed first. And as soon as it finds a match here, say that if the temperature had been 170, then it would have found a match here. And then it would have not executed the else block. It would have directly given the result to be boiling and then skipped this part entirely. Here we have another example. We have a variable named speed, which we have assigned the value 75. If the speed is greater than 70, then we have to print too fast. Notice that there's no else statement here. Because speed is greater than 75, we will get a result, but say the speed was 65 instead of 75. This code would have evaluated and we would have gotten no match, so the result would have been blank. The if-else fork can also be thought of as a true-false statement. If something is true, execute the if part, else execute the false part. Here we have another example. Say we have a variable num, which is assigned the value to 42. If the number is completely divisible by 2, which means that if number modulus divided by 2 double equals 0. Now, if you remember, the modulus, what that does is basically evaluates the remainder after division. So if the remainder after division is 0, then we have to print even. Obviously, if a number is completely divisible by 2, then it's an even number. But we also have an else statement. If this condition is somehow not met, then we will print odd. In our case, 42 is completely divisible by 2. So that means even is printed. Now, there are some cases where you want to check multiple conditions. In that case, you can also use elif. Elif, or as it's known in other languages, else if, basically adds more if statements between the if clause and the else clause. So first, it will check the if clause. If it doesn't find a match there, it will go to the next else if clause, elif clause in this case. And if it doesn't find a match there, then it will go on and then on until it reaches the else statement. Wherever it finds a match, it will basically give the result of that statement and then skip the rest of the statements entirely. Let's take an example. An easy example to take would be grades. Say, I have a score of 85. If my score is greater than 90, then I have to print A. Else if it's greater than 80, then I have to print B. Else if it's greater than 70, I have to print C. And else I have to print F. In our case, first it checks whether our value is greater than 90. It's not, so it just proves this false. It moves on to the next statement. Now here it checks if this is true. This is true, so it just entirely skips these two statements and gives us the result B. Complex decisions are basically when we group two or more situations together. In this case, we have to check if age is greater than 18, and this is a logical and as we discussed before, has ID is true. If both of these are true, only then it will print this. Logical and, as we discussed before, only works when both of the situations are true. Now, if blocks can also be nested within other if blocks. Here, if main door is open, then we have if safe is locked, print safe is secure. Now notice that this if is indented and then this print statement is indented even more. This is because this if statement is housed within this first if statement, and this print statement actually belongs to this nested if block. In short, let's cover again what we have discussed today. We have discussed what are Boolean values, what are our comparison operators, and logical operators. We have also covered the if, else, and elif statements. Now, let's attempt this challenge. We have to take a temperature input. If the temperature is greater than 30, then we have to display hot. If it's less than 15, then we have to display cold. Else we have to display lovely.